Colombian guys that would give him keys of pure, like the best cocaine you could get and like the cheapest prices. And John was very good to me, like he was generous. He would give me, whatever I wanted. If I wanted 5 keys, 10 keys to go make money. At that time, I remember I was getting it for like 15, 17,000 a key.
Wow.
Right. And it was going for like 25, 26 without even trying. And that's without even breaking it up into eighths and ounces and,
Yeah, making it street size.
So I would go make 5,000 on the key on a flip.
Yeah.
So if you give me 5 keys, I make 25,000.
One drop.
10 keys, I make 50,000.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like unlimited. He would tell me, yeah, I got 200, I got access to 200 keys, 300 keys. Didn't matter.
Wow.
He goes out to this club one night. I forget the name of it. I even forget where it was. Some bouncer disrespected him. I don't know what he did or what he said, but he threw John out of the place and he embarrassed him. John wasn't supposed to be there. It was getting to the point where he's hanging out in bars and clubs, drinking and partying.
Not the right place.
It wasn't the right.
Not for where he was headed.
Yeah.
And how much respect he had. That was all the wrong things to do.
He should have stood home more.
Yep.
Not go out as much. Go out when you need to. Take care of serious business. He was more of a partier. He became like a partying guy. And a lot of the guys from the Bronx, they weren't like that. He started getting this reputation where he's putting himself in places where you're not supposed to be putting yourself. You don't put yourself in a position where you get into an issue like that. And I'm not saying you can't go out, but I think what happened was he started going to these places where, and then from there we go to after hour places, and then who are you going to meet in an after hour place? Everybody's whacked out.
Yep, everybody's in the same mode. Yeah,
And you're more likely to get into a problem, right? I mean, your chances go up a lot when you put yourself around more people and you put yourself around more drunk people.
If you're going out clubbing and after hours, there's only a matter of time before you're going to bump into the wrong group.
Now, he had an unlimited supply of coke. To him, it was nothing. Calls me up. It was, I never forget, it was like on a Sunday. Monday, I'm hanging out down on the Spring Street Lounge. Spring and Mulberry. It's a bar, neighborhood bar we used to hang out in. Pages me. Come down. He comes to pick me up. He says, hey, I got to talk to you. He said, this effing punk kicked me out of the place. He embarrassed me. This, that. And do me a favor. I said, sure. What do you want? He says, I want you to shoot the guy, his leg. I don't want you to kill him. He said, I just want you to put him in the hospital. I said, okay. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking.
So you agreed to this already?
I agreed to it because, one, he was my friend.
Okay.
I would have.
And you respected him. And
whether he was a wise guy or not, I would have did it because he's my friend. That's the way I was. I would help you.
Yep.
Two, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to lie. I'm thinking this guy is going to get me straightened out.
Okay.
Because he's telling me all along.
You're going to go do this favor for him. So
because this is before because he's telling me all along. It was a known fact. He's close with Vic. He's got an in. He's going to be the captain up there. You're going to come with me. And, I go way back with your uncle. So I'm thinking, well.
A lot of connections that made you make that decision.
So I'm thinking, well, this is a guy I could trust, and it makes sense. Now, the first and foremost reason, because the guy was my friend. And I'm saying it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that he's already a made guy. And I could do some work and get it on record with him. And, eventually,
So that's what's going through your head at this point, that there's something big in it for you.
Yeah, that was a secondary reason. Okay. Well, what happens is, I told him, I said, hey, you know where to go? He says, yeah, we're going to go there. He said, meet me up there.
So he's got a plan.
He's got a plan.
How to execute it.
It was on an off night where the kid was working. He got it all laid out. I go up there, I go meet him up in the Bronx. And I'm saying to myself, you got all these kids around you.
Yeah, you got a crew, basically.
You got a lot of kids around them. I said, none of these kids want to step up. He said, I can't rely on any of them. He said, they're not shooters. They're not. He said, I can't rely on any of them. He said, I can rely on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 38 pistol. I go meet him up in the Bronx. We take his car. I'll never forget, he drove a Mazda 626. So We're in the car.
Okay.
And we're laying out. 3 guys walk out. Big guys, bouncer.
They're bouncers, yeah.
I'm ready. I got a 38. I'm ready to go. He's got an umbrella on the floor of the car. He says, take the umbrella. I go, I don't need the umbrella.
Right.
I got a hood. So anyway, I put the hood on.
Mhm.
I'm waiting in the car. They're getting closer. He goes, the one on the right. I'm getting the door. I got it halfway open. No, wait a second. I think it's the one on the left.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I shut the door. I go, John, which one is it?
Yeah.
He's looking. They're getting closer. They're walking towards us, right? But he's squinting because he couldn't see that good.
Wow.
He's going like this.
So he's not 100% sure at
Not
this
100%
point.
sure. So I'm looking, I'm saying,
it's impossible.
I'm going to wind up hitting the wrong kid.
Lord.
So finally, as they get closer, he looks and he says, definitely the one in the middle.
So we got all 3 of them now.
So I
Left,
said,
the right, the middle.
I said, you sure? He
Yeah.
goes, I'm sure. So
Okay.
they stop. They stopped to
The 3
talk.
stop.
The 3 of them stopped to talk, right? And it was like misty out, but it wasn't enough to have like you could have carried an umbrella, but it was kind of misty out. It was like rain that you could deal with
Right.
without an umbrella, The floors was just starting to get that slick. Like when the concrete gets wet
Looks
and the oil comes
clean.
up from the, yeah, that's what it was like. Finally, he's for sure. He says, the one in the middle. I got the hood on. I open the door up. I walk up to them. I get close enough. I pull out a 38. Boom. Cap him in the leg. One guy just doesn't even, he just runs. The other guy standing there looking at me and looking at the guy who got shot. I stick the gun up at him, like towards his head, saying I'll shoot him. He goes, he takes off. The other kid's down there that got hit, he's holding his leg. He's screaming. I walk over to him. I put the gun to his face, just put the gun to his face. And I didn't say nothing. I was ready to, I don't know why I did that. I don't know if I wanted to put extra fear into him or whatever the case was.
Yeah,
okay.
let's call it that.
He's screaming and I just walk away, right? Got the hood on all the while. I go back into the car. I'm running to the car, like a light jog. I get into his Mazda. He makes a U-turn and we take off. Where do we go to celebrate?
Knuckleheads?
Knuckleheads. Right, of course.
Knuckleheads?
He's so excited. He's banging my hip, like my leg. Man, good job. Good job. You don't know how proud of you I am. You don't know how proud I am. And this and that. And praises me up and down,
What are you thinking at this point?
I'm thinking, good question. I felt accomplished.
Okay.
I did what I had to do.
Right. Carried out your order, basically.
And it felt good. It felt good that he was happy. And I helped a friend. We go to Knuckleheads. He's telling everybody. Whoever was coming over,
he had the
having
story.
A drink.
Yeah.
And he's going, yeah, that's my man. Blah, blah, blah. Now, word started getting around that there was ambulance trucks and there was law enforcement on the scene, wherever the hell it was, New Rochelle or Westchester, wherever this place was, because that's where I hit him outside. Yeah. Anyway, he's drinking up a storm and he's blah, blah, blah.
He's having a good time.
Talking, yeah. And he's talking about the future. You're with me. You're going to be with me. I'm going to be the captain up here. After that, I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to have a seat on the administration. I'm going to make sure you're my right hand and this and that and the whole thing.
Right.
And then it tells me at the same time, he says, I got packages. How many you want?
Okay.
I would go to the phone of Knuckleheads. I would beat my Puerto Rican guy I was doing business with.
Yeah.
Call him up. How many he could handle? He can handle 5. Go back to John. Give me 5.
Give me 5. Yep.
Come back to my place. I got it in my place. He had like a safe house. I go follow him. He go right into his closet, wherever he had them, Just take 5 keys out, throw them in a duffel bag. Here you go. No money, no nothing. Giving me really how much? 80,000?
Yeah. Like,
just here you go.
Yeah.
I call my Puerto Rican connection up. The kid, he was up in Boston. I say, come down. I had a safe house in Brooklyn. I would keep the kilos over there. The next day he would come down. I go meet him, give him the keys. Boom, we go up there, flip him. I was making a ton of money. Great relationship going with Johnny, John Petroselli. Good guy, everything else, right? Well, he goes, he has this Gus Faraci on the lam.
He's still harboring this guy.
Still harboring him. He
Through
tells
all
me
of this, during the same time you did him that favor.
That night he tells me, he's, I got America's Most Wanted.
Right.
He says.
Yeah, he's got him.
He's got him. I got him in a place. I got him in a place by the woods. He thinks he's Rambo. He goes, he plays in the woods. He does these things like with trees, and he really thought he was Rambo. This kid, like he just
you gave him a situation, and he tried to make it work.
As a matter of fact, he says, "I got 2 kids around me. They run and bring him food. The kid eats a lot. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So all he's doing is he's talking. He's praising this kid, praising him how to me how, me and this kid were close in jail. He was talking like this kid's his hero. They killed a DEA agent. It's his hero.
Wow.
Because he killed a bad guy.
Well,
cops are the bad guys.
Okay.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the thought process.
That's the mentality.
Right? That's it.
So it was maybe, I want to say, the week after. He tells me he has to go to Jersey. He had to go meet somebody out there. I don't know if it was another gangster or whoever the hell it was, right? He said, come on, take a ride with me. So I go take a ride with him to Jersey. Okay. Again, in his brand new Mazda 626.
Yep.
Right? I never forget, we're coming back over the Holland Tunnel. You remember the Holland Tunnel, right?
In the Holland Tunnel.
Coming back, just as we're getting out of the Holland Tunnel on the New York side.
Manhattan side, yeah.
Manhattan side.
Mm-hmm.
This car come from behind us. Hit us. Boom.
Oh, boy.
Like to pull us over.
Yeah.
First, what they did was they put a siren on the top of their thing. They were undercover.
Cherry
on the hood.
Yep.
And then when we were pulling over to stop, they bunked into us.
You.
Not like a smash, like they smashed the car, but boom,
I'll let you know.
Enough to make you shake, right?
Yep.
Walk over. I don't know who they were. They flashed their badges real quick.
Yep.
They didn't say their names or nothing, right? Get the F out of the car. So me and Johnny get out of the car, right? They got their fingers in our faces.
What are they saying at this point?
They says, oh, he wants to be a tough guy? He wants to kill agents? You're running out of time. We want this kid dead on the street. We don't want to arrest him.
They're not messing around.
We don't want to pinch him. We don't want to arrest him. We want him dead. And we know you got him.
So they know.
Word gets on the street.
Enough people.
Like I said, John told enough people. And there's more rats on the street than there is in the program. I know people argue with me.
No, you're 100% right. There's a million informants everywhere.
Looking back at this now,
still is.
Looking back at it, if we called the Christmas party and they said, hey, go to La Park, we're having our Christmas party there, right? Well, before we get there, there's agents all over the place. How do they know? You go to a wake, you go to a funeral, wherever you went with, there was going to be a gathering.
Yep.
Agents are there. How do you know? Somebody's telling them.
Yeah. Now, what are you thinking during this? You got what's happening?
I'm thinking I'm